Dracula's darkest castles in Eastern Europe. In the shadowed heart of Eastern Europe, castles still stand like haunted sentinels of a blood-soaked past. But behind their stone walls lurk darker, truth secrets tied to Vlad the Impaler, the man who inspired the legend of Dracula. Were these castles merely fortresses or prisons of unimaginable cruelty? Tonight we step inside the halls where screams once echoed and shadows never die. These are not fairy tale palaces. They are monuments of fear, power, and eternal darkness. Dare you walk with me through Dracula's darkest castles in Eastern Europe? Castle number 1, Bran Castle. Perched high on a rocky hill in Romania, Bran Castle looms with jagged towers and iron gates, often called the official Dracula's Castle. While historians debate whether Vlad the Impaler ever set foot here, its menacing Gothic silhouette has cemented it as the beating heart of vampire legend. Inside its narrow corridors and stone chambers, visitors whisper about Vlad's cruelty and the countless impalements that forged his terrifying legacy. The cold draft that flows through the castle feels almost alive, like a breath from the past. Wooden staircases creak, as if echoing footsteps of the condemned, while secret passageways remind us of the paranoia and brutality of medieval power. But Bran is more than myth. It was a fortress guarding the border between Transylvania and Wallachia, a place where blood and politics collided. Today, it stands as a macabre tourist attraction, yet its aura is anything but welcoming. Each nightfall, as the Carpathian mist curls around its towers, Bran Castle transforms into what it has always been, the perfect stage for Dracula's eternal darkness. Castle number 2, Poenari Castle, high above the Argic River. Clinging to the sheer cliffs of the Carpathians lie the ruins of Poenari Castle, the true fortress of Vlad the Impaler. Unlike Bran, this castle is no legend. It was Vlad's stronghold, rebuilt with the forced labor of boyars he despised, many of whom perished hauling stones up the mountain. Their suffering is said to be carved into every wall that remains. To reach Poenari today, visitors must climb nearly 1,500 steep steps, a journey as punishing as the history it conceals. Once inside, only crumbling walls and broken towers remain. Yet the silence is overwhelming, an eerie reminder of the blood-soaked rule of its master. Legends whisper that Vlad's first wife leapt to her death from these cliffs, preferring the abyss over capture by enemy forces. Though time has reduced Poenari to ruins, its haunting presence endures. More than any other site, this castle embodies the ruthless will of Vlad Tepes, the man behind Dracula. Here, stone and shadow still conspire to tell a story of cruelty, power, and despair. Castle number 3, Corvin Castle, also known as Hunyad Castle. Corvin Castle rises like a nightmare from the Transylvanian hills, its crimson rooftops, looming towers and Gothic stone bridge giving it the appearance of a fortress born from hell itself. Built in the 15th century by John Hunyad, it is one of Europe's largest Gothic castles. But its beauty hides tales of cruelty and despair. Legends say Vlad the Impaler was once imprisoned here. Some stories whisper that he spent years locked within its dungeons, where damp walls dripped with misery and prisoners were left to rot. Beneath the castle, torture chambers echo with medieval horror. Rusted shackles, stone cells, and pits of starvation where hope had no place. Whether Vlad endured these torments or not, Corvin Castle has become inextricably tied to his shadow. Even in daylight, the castle exudes menace. The great hall feels heavy with unspoken judgment, and the chapel, once a place of prayer, feels like it holds secrets best left buried. By night, as winds howl through its turrets, Corvin Castle transforms into a true vampire's lair, the kind of place where Dracula's ghost might still wander, searching for vengeance in eternal darkness. Castle number 4, Hunyad Castle. Hunyad Castle, sometimes overlapping in legend with Corvin Castle, has earned a reputation as one of the darkest strongholds in Eastern Europe. Rising with grim turrets and heavy walls, it was less a royal residence and more a prison of despair. For centuries, whispers claimed that Vlad the Impaler was held captive within its dungeons. Chained in darkness, his fury hardening into the cruelty that would define him. The castle's subterranean chambers are its most terrifying feature. Narrow corridors lead into suffocating cells where daylight never reached. Prisoners here endured starvation, disease, and the echoing screams of torture. Some historians argue these tales are exaggerated, but the stone walls seem to breathe with centuries of anguish. Above ground, Hunyad's courtyards and halls carry an ominous air, grand yet oppressive, as if soaked in the memories of blood and betrayal. Local folklore insists that Vlad's spirit lingers here, bound by rage. A restless shadow haunting the same cells where he once plotted vengeance. Today, Hunyad Castle stands as both a monument and a warning. Power and cruelty are never far apart. And sometimes the darkest prisons are not built of stone, but of hatred and memory. Castle number 5. Orava Castle, far to the north, in the mountains of Slovakia. Orava Castle towers above a rocky cliff, its spires stabbing into the mist like daggers of stone. Built in the 13th century, it was a fortress of kings and lords. Its darkest claim to fame came centuries later in cinema. In 1922, this castle became the filming location for Nosferatu, the first great vampire movie, forever linking Orava to Dracula's haunting legacy. Yet Orava's terror is not limited to film. Local legends speak of ghosts wandering its halls, servants who perished under cruel masters, and nobles whose thirst for power rivaled Vlad's own cruelty. Its labyrinth of chambers, winding staircases, and echoing courtyards feel purpose-built to harbor secrets. At night, when the wind howls through the stone walls, it is easy to imagine Nosferatu or Dracula himself, lurking in the shadows. Unlike the ruined strongholds of Poenari or the Gothic menace of Corvin, Orava Castle embodies something different: the immortality of fear.
Eddie.
It is less about Vlad's historical presence and more about the enduring power of myth. Through film and folklore, this castle has become an eternal stage for the vampire legend, where history and nightmare are forever entwined. From Bran's iconic towers to the desolate ruins of Poenari, from the Gothic nightmares of Corvin and Hunyad to the cinematic shadow of Oravich, of these castles carries a fragment of Dracula's eternal darkness. They are more than stones and legends. They are echoes of fear, power, and cruelty that still haunt Eastern Europe. Together, they remind us that history is never free of shadow, and myth often grows from blood-soaked truth. If you dared to walk through these haunted halls with me, don't leave without giving this video a like, sharing your thoughts in the comments, and subscribing for more journeys into the world's darkest secrets. The shadows are endless, and our story has only just begun.